I have the pleasure of introducing Buzz Aldrin. If Buzz Aldrin had been born 500 years ago, he would have been the first person to circumnavigate the world. If he had been born 200 years ago, he might have been the one to discover the South Pole. So what does a pioneer do when he's born in the 20th century? Buzz Aldrin walks on the moon. If you were alive in 1969, you were only one place on July 20th, and I know that place. You were huddled around a television, probably black and white. You probably held your breath and sat frozen as you watched the Lunar Module gracefully descend, and you heard those famous words, "The Eagle has landed." And the silence was broken with cheers that could be heard throughout your neighborhood and around the world. And that's when Apollo 11 touched the moon's surface. And that's when Buzz Aldrin joined his fellow astronaut Neil Armstrong for the most famous walk in history. But there's more to this amazing pioneer than his lunar voyage. Aldrin is a world-class hero who graduated from West Point and flew 66 combat missions in Korea. He's a world-class inventor who developed techniques our space program needed to get to the moon. He performed the first successful spacewalk 3 years prior to his lunar landing and is the first PhD we sent into space. My mother would be proud of that. Apart from being an astronaut and scientist, he's far gone beyond me on the bestseller list. He's the author of 7 New York Times bestsellers and coming up with another one. He has even been the inspiration for our friends at Pixar. Ever heard of Buzz Lightyear? For a man who flew into the heavens, it seems only fitting that he resides in our own city of angels. And there he has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. His ideas continue to fly forward on an unstoppable trajectory. The state of California honors Buzz Aldrin, an explorer whose epic accomplishments inspire us all to dream big and reach for the stars.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Governor. What a wonderful class of inductees that I have the honor to be a part of. I've gotten to be a pretty good speech maker. God, I hated giving speeches, but I tell you, I'm pretty good with a teleprompter these days. But I'm winging it right now. I have great memories of growing up on the East Coast in New Jersey. Thank you very much. And several years ago, I had the great honor to be inducted into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. But I did a little calculating the other day, and as of right now, I've lived more than half of my life in the wonderful state of California. And so it is a real singular honor for me to join the likes of the people who you have applauded so far this evening. Magic Johnson. I'm sitting at a table with a former winner here, Chuck Yeager. He's one of those inspiring airplane flyers. My father was an airplane flyer, and before I was born, he became the first businessman while he was working with Standard Oil in New Jersey to fly an airplane over the Alps in 1929. I'm told that I was conceived in Paris. But inspired by my father's aviation career and some of the people that he knew, including the Wright brothers, who first flew the year my mother was born. And you know, I look back on what a wonderful treat my higher power has given to me to be an inhabitant of this earth during the time period from the Wright brothers to the World War I, the stunt flyers, the airmail, the airlines, World War II, and Cold War, where I had the honor of representing my country during the Korean War. I was just a second lieutenant, 23 years old. People have asked me about this flying in space, if you're fearful or scared. And I tell you, no. But I tell you, combat is a little different because you never know, because he's trying to shoot you down. Of course, you're trying to shoot him down too. But the space program is quite a bit different. Probably in American history and maybe even world history, individuals have never been trained so thoroughly to represent their country in such a fantastic way as 24 Americans were given the great opportunity of reaching the moon back 45 years ago. And to have been given that honor, a lot of people might say that's luck. No, it's being in the right place at the right time and having an education that is superior. Now, the education that the Apollo program inspired really put this nation up at the top in the world. But in the field of science, technology, engineering, and math, that we educators call the STEM programs, that's one of the future objectives in my life. Number one objective is, of course, to see that the United States retains leadership in every space endeavor. Now, number two is to help the states become more inspired by space program, technology, all the things that we're not at the top anymore in what we call STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. So I have spoken to the governor earlier tonight as how I'm going to try and help California work with several of the other states that have growing programs to improve their education. When the governor just honored me with this lovely gold medal, I asked him, you don't mind if I refer to you as Governor Moonbeam, do you? The state of California is proud of the contributions that it has made over the years to ensure supremacy of the United States. And I'm very proud as an American to have considered that the purpose in my life is to serve my country. One of the proudest moments on the moon was the opportunity to salute the American flag. And one of my small objectives in the future of life is to make sure that every veteran knows that recently the Senate passed a resolution authorizing, not ordering, but authorizing all veterans during the Pledge of Allegiance, inside, outside, and the Star-Spangled Banner, instead of putting their hand over their heart, veterans now are authorized a hand salute. And I hope every veteran who is a veteran does do that so that they can inspire the other people around them. And the other people who are not veterans will realize that one of the greatest sacrifices a citizen of the United States can do is to represent his country. And so I give great thanks to all of you here and all of Californians, especially Governor Brown, for inducting me into this wonderful honor of being in the California Hall of Fame. Thank you very much.